Good evening, everyone. My name is Danae Wiggins, and tonight we're going to be going over cryptocurrency. I've designed this presentation to give you a clear executive level understanding of cryptocurrency, and we're going to be discussing what it is, where it's going, and why it matters now. We're also going to be focusing on the real world strategic implications of this technology and what leadership teams should be doing today to stay competitive in this new digital finance era. Just a quick agenda of what we'll be going over tonight. We're going to cover a little bit of background on what cryptocurrency is, how it's used today, some of the solutions and problems that it solves. We're going to be going over some of the companies that implemented this technology early and those that didn't, and ultimately what leadership is urged to do in order to adapt to this new change. And then finally, we'll go over some recommendations. So you might be asking, what is cryptocurrency? Ultimately, cryptocurrency is a form of a digital asset that uses cryptography to secure its transactions. So unlike traditional currencies issued by governments, cryptocurrencies operate on decentralized networks, primarily blockchains, which means that no central authority controls the supply or flow of this money. This is what makes it so unique. Cryptocurrency makes it so that payments can be incredibly difficult to block or reverse. And what's important for us to understand as executives is that cryptocurrency isn't just digital money, it's a paradigm shift in how value is being exchanged, stored, and even programmed through smart contracts. The truth lies in not how institutions govern cryptocurrency, but ultimately the protocol which we use to attain it. So how can you obtain cryptocurrency? Currently, there are multiple entry points into cryptocurrency. Most individuals will buy crypto on regulated exchange sites like Coinbase, Binance, or Kraken using traditional cash. Others can earn crypto by exchanging services for cash or selling items. Peer-to-peer transactions are also another popular way to be rewarded with crypto, and that is simply a direct exchange of value between two parties without there needing an institution to be in place. And then finally, for more technical users, you can mine or stake for cryptocurrency rewards. And like I said, this is a more technical, complex process, but ultimately in mining, users compete to be the first to verify a block of transactions and add it to their blockchain, and that is how they'll gain cryptocurrency. And in the act of staking, users lock up their stake in cryptocurrency holdings as collateral, and then validators are chosen randomly based on the amount of cryptocurrency that they've staked. Increasingly, there are several businesses and organizations that are accepting crypto as forms of payment. So as this adaptation grows, it's important to evaluate what acquisition methods align with your company's risk profile, compliance needs, and ultimately your strategic interests. I think it's also important that we understand the money flow from cash to crypto. So this flow begins with fiat, which is just regular cash. This can be USD, this can be EUR, et cetera, et cetera. Essentially, users can purchase cryptocurrency via centralized exchanges using traditional cash. And once crypto has been acquired, these assets are stored in digital wallets. These can be managed either by these exchange platforms or they can be self-managed for greater control. Most users prefer that method. And then crypto can be used for trading, for purchases, for investments and staking, and ultimately engage in decentralized finance. And once users choose to exit the loop, crypto can be converted back to fiat and then used in those same exchanges, or can be used can be taken out as cash. And then finally, many users do choose to reinvest their crypto or their cash into new protocols, creating a very cyclical financial ecosystem. But understanding this flow is essential for identifying the strategic entry points and revenue streams associated with cryptocurrency. Ultimately, it's just as important to talk about the companies that are leading the world in cryptocurrency today. So starting off with Tesla, in 2021, they purchased 1.5 US dollars worth of Bitcoin as an attempt to diversify their financial portfolio. And for a brief period of time, they actually accepted Bitcoin as payment for their vehicles. Ultimately, what the company did was position itself as a forward-looking brand in this new wave of digital finances. They made headlines by investing in Bitcoin, being one of the very first companies to do so. And they ultimately challenged the financial norms and sparked a trend among CFOs exploring different digital assets. Similarly, PayPal quickly allowed users to buy, sell, and hold crypto on their platform. And they launched a program called PayPal USD, Pi USD, which is a fully backed stable coin, ultimately that enables crypto to fiat or cash checkout at millions of merchants globally. Visa did the same thing, issuing over 80 million crypto-linked Visa cards globally, allowing thousands of users to spend crypto anywhere Visa is accepted by converting crypto to cash at the point of sale immediately, making the exchange seamless for consumers and merchants. Don't mind me, I'm on this side now because there was no space on the corner, but there are some very real problems that cryptocurrency aims to address with our global financial system, some being the slow and expensive cross-border payments. Traditional banks can take up to days and charge really high fees when it comes to requesting money from a different country or forgetting maybe to convert your cash into another dollar and ultimately having to pay a fee for it. There's also limited financial access across the globe. This has been noted by many users who express their distaste for the lack of brick and mortar stores in their specific countries or access to that need. There's also a lack of transparency with traditional banking systems. Consumers have to go out of their way to report or protect themselves from fraud with very little insight into how their money and data and information is actually being protected. But in the same vein, there are many opportunities that cryptocurrency is, aside from the problems it's addressing, there are many opportunities that it is offering. So it offers 24/7 borderless transactions where value can be settled in seconds, and it's not closed on the weekends either. So you have access to your money 24/7 every single day whenever you need it. You can automate your payments and enter into smart contracts almost immediately. You can feel secure in that your money won't be stolen and that fraud won't be committed against you because the cryptography involved with cryptocurrency is a lot stronger than the cybersecurity that maybe a bank would use to protect their data. And finally, the first movers in this new age are the ones who are going to shape the market and influence policy. Leaders who understand how important cryptocurrency is are ultimately the ones who are going to shape how their industries evolve. Moving on to some of the early and late competitors in the cryptocurrency space, there were major companies that hesitated to engage with cryptocurrency and blockchain early on with very valid concerns. There were concerns about volatility, regulation, and how it could potentially negatively affect their reputations. But in many cases, the perception of the risk outweighed the actual opportunity. So, for example, Western Union, a firm specifically built for global payments, they absolutely could have led the transition from crypto-powered transfers or from cash to crypto-powered transfers. But now, companies like PayPal and Visa are eating up that space. Even Goldman Sachs, which initially had dismissed crypto, eventually reversed its course and is now attempting to run a full crypto trading desk. And unfortunately, Amazon, despite its humongous infrastructure dominance, has yet to move seriously into crypto payments and ultimately leaves the room for their competitors to lead in this aspect. So let this be a major lesson to industries and industry leaders that caution can have a cost, and in fast-moving sectors like finance, waiting too long means giving your competition a permanent head start. Ultimately, leadership's role in embracing this new technology and many others goes far beyond just accepting and greenlighting the budget. It begins with setting a clear vision for your organization, which means you must understand where the world is headed and how that intersects with your company's mission. Next, it is the process of aligning your strategies and your resources. It's important to connect your vision to your strategy and allocate the necessary resources to ensure that your innovation isn't soil. Innovations like cryptocurrency can't just be left in the lab. It needs a boardroom of attention and strategic integration. And then finally, it's important for leaders to establish a safe and effective execution of the new innovations. So this means supporting your teams and setting ethical boundaries within your company's mission, and preparing ultimately for regulatory engagement, preparing for your policies to inevitably change. The companies that win within these technologies aren't always the fastest. They're ultimately the ones with leaders willing to move thoughtfully and decisively, and also early enough to learn before the market forces them to act. I believe that the future of cryptocurrency can be summarized in three very clear directions. First is regulation. Regulation and policy reform is coming on a global scale, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It definitely will not be the end of crypto, and global frameworks will be established to legitimize cryptocurrency. This is going to attract institutions and responsible innovation. Secondly, crypto's utility is growing, and it's growing fast. From payments to real-world assets and digital IDs, it's becoming more integrated, even if users don't see it that way. And finally, we're moving towards a new foundational layer of finance. Our financial market will likely never be the same. This new era that we're moving into is decentralized, it's programmable, it's global, and it absolutely will not be replacing traditional systems overnight, but it will be increasingly sitting beside them. For leadership, it's clear. You must lean in now. You must understand that the cost of learning right now is very low, and the opportunity to lead the market is still open and still probable. And to conclude, I leave you with this. Cryptocurrency is no longer a new and scary technology. It's very quickly becoming a part of the mainstream business and financial markets infrastructure. And ultimately, the companies who will win in this space aren't the ones who are going all in and changing everything all at once, but they are the ones who are engaging early, learning fast, and building up their company's readiness before the competition forces them to catch up. I recommend you not be a blockbuster company. I recommend that you start forming a cross-functional crypto task force within your organizations and conducting small pilot initiatives to prioritize education and prioritize leadership's buy-in. This isn't just a trend anymore. It's a shift, and it requires your executive response. I leave you with one final encouraging push, which is that leadership means staying ahead of the curve. By exploring emerging technologies like cryptocurrency, you can equip yourself to build resilient, future-ready financial strategies. And when you combine operational expertise with a commitment to responsible innovation, you are guaranteed to succeed. The future will not wait, and neither should you.